3 we're starting, and everybody is here. State your name. Lee Wessler's here.
Jean Pillow's here.
Jason Allard's here.
Maura, you there?
Oh, I already said Mara Roby.
Okay. 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 No alternates to seat. Anyone want to make motion to approve the minutes?
So
Or any comments, additions, corrections?
Nope.
Or any motions?
I move we approve the minutes.
Oh, yeah, sorry, second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
I
Okay.
appreciate that you put the corrections in from the previous month.
Okay, you heard that, Grace. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I'll abstain. Any abstentions? Okay, the motion passes. No public to participate. No treasurer here to report. Chairman doesn't have anything to report. Communications. Let me see what I got in email. I got something on from the last Green Valley on RBV training. You know what that is?
Ripple bioassessment training.
Okay.
It's Emma's running the program now, and
Yes.
she's looking for volunteers who want to learn how to assess streams using stream macroinvertebrates as water quality indicators. And it's a lot of fun. I ran the program for 18 years, and I encourage anybody who wants to learn more about water resources to get in there with their boots on and have fun sorting bugs.
Okay, so if anyone's interested, I have a link, and it's the dates to pick from: September 2nd, September 3rd. Oh, there's more people coming. Rebecca Hyde and Jordan. Okay, Jordan Stern's here. Hi, Jordan. So there's a training for what was it, Gene, again? What does it stand for?
Ripple bioassessment.
Ripple bio. Okay,
For
but it's a V.
volunteers.
It's a V. RBV.
For volunteers.
Okay. So anyway, September 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 7th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Any of those days. If anyone's interested, let me know. I'll send you the link. And we'll move back to public participation because the eminent Rebecca Hyde is here. And if you have anything to share with us, Rebecca, or just hanging out, listen to the meeting.
Just hanging out. Thanks.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get back to my inbox. So this old business, Gene, anything with oh, Grace is here. Hi, Grace. We're waiting on the treasurer's report, Grace. You got your report? And you're muted. Okay. Hi,
You
Grace.
there?
Yep.
Okay.
Treasurer's report.
The treasurer's report is $914 in the budget and 22, whatever it is. Hold on. 2193.22. No changes. I
Okay.
did not get anything from anybody, so.
Okay. No, do you have any communications?
No, there were none.
Okay, so back to old business. Gene, DRC report?
Nothing has come to my attention that's current. I did see that we missed some opportunities to comment on things. The state has decided to lease their forest land adjacent to Black Pond to the YMCA. And I didn't know that that decision had been made, and kind of got into a conversation with a certain senator about how we should have been asked about that. So anyway, what's done is done. We're just hoping that Black Pond, which is the most unspoiled pond in Woodstock, other than Hatchet Pond, is stewarded well by the YMCA, and they keep buildings away out of the 100-foot buffer.
Okay, so noted.
Is it worth sending a letter to the YMCA requesting that they keep that in mind?
No.
Do you know, Jean, do you know why they're leasing forest land to the YMCA?
They want to expand the camp.
I'm sorry?
They want to expand the camp.
So they can build on it?
I don't know all the details.
Oh,
Okay, Crystal's not here for open space. Gina already mentioned P and Z.
hold on. I think Jean wanted to send a letter. Can we go back to that?
Asked if we should maybe send a letter to the YMCA, we learned that they're leasing the property, and we would like for them to respect the recommended 100-foot stormwater buffer, is a drinking water watershed and all that. Just
Yeah,
don't-
absolutely.
I'm sure if they do any building, it still needs to go before wetlands if they do any work in the upland review area. But I think proactively, if we state that it is, part of a drinking water watershed, it's one of the least spoiled ponds in the town, and we would hope that they'll be good stewards and respect that 100-foot setback.
Do you have the contact information? Or
I
an email?
do not. I used to know the guy who was the property manager, but he's long gone, so I don't know who's running it anymore. But they're run out of Hartford anyway.
Well, let me send a letter off to Crystal, see if she has the information, and then if you could just write a letter, forward it to me. That way I can put my name on it and get the contact information from Crystal.
I'd be
Okay.
curious to know, I mean, I would think the lease is a public document, just to know, like, if there's any, limitations in the lease or anything spelled out. I would think there would be by deep, right?
I would hope there would be. I only learned about it because Jeff Gordon posted how great it is. The YMCA has got this ability to use state forest land on Black Pond, and he posted it on social media.
And you got to talk with him?
I put a comment in that it's one of the least spoiled ponds, lakes in town, and I hope they respect the stormwater regulations. And he goes, "Oh, they're good stewards." And I'm like, "Oh, not some of the things I've seen, but anyway."
Okay, expanding.
Hmm.
Camp.
Is that something the Natchog Healthy Watershed Advisory group might want to comment on also?
I don't know. Is that something a group like that would comment on? I guess I don't have any experience with doing that.
Well, one of the recommendations was to have a lakes group, and I don't know how you divided things up. But
We don't have a lakes group at this time because nobody showed interest that was involved. If somebody wants to step up, we can try to form that, I guess, but,
I was gonna, I would try to get Tyler to do it, and the reason is because there's a growing problem with water chestnut in the watershed, and there needs to be a concentrated effort from all the lakes to kind of figure out where is it starting and to work on remediating it. And I even suggested to him that he contact the hydro plants because they have a vested interest in keeping that stuff out of the impoundments because it'll mess up their machinery.
yeah.
Okay, so I sent the letter off to Crystal to see if I can get the contact information, and then if you send me a letter, Gene, I'll send it on behest of our committee. Jim's not here for stewardship, pollinator pathway.
Jason, you want to do an update on the Memorial Garden? Maybe Jason stepped away.
Jason?
It's hard to tell if he's talking and he has.
Oh, there he's there.
Yeah, I was on mute and didn't realize it. Just jabbering away. Yeah, so I mean, I've been kind of weeding it all summer and removing invasives. It's expanded. There's some space expanded towards the road and towards the rear and and I've done 2 cuts. I'm gonna do a 3rd cut of a section of the God, what's that killer stuff? The Japanese knotweed. I added a little, and I didn't submit an invoice yet, but I added like pollinator watering station and insect hotel. And I didn't put in plant signs yet, but I have some small signs to replace all the ones that have kind of worn away over the past year or 2. So I mean, it looks good. If there's time and ability to add stuff, then there's room. It's coming along, right? It probably needs like a long-term maintenance plan. But I don't know if that's something that anyone at the Grange is interested in taking on.
Well, they just put out an appeal for more members, so who knows?
Right.
Yeah,
Jason, that rock that was kind of standing up, I have Karen McFarland on standby to pay for a plaque to put on there. What do you think we could fit on a plaque that we can like glue on that rock?
Like how big?
Well, I've forgotten. I don't have the dimensions of the rock anymore. It's kind of something I need to do, but haven't done.
It's probably like an 8 by 10.
All right.
And that's just ballpark, just a little
What
bit
could we
like
fit on an 8 by 10 like little sign, like Woodstock Memorial Pollinator Garden?
sure. I'll go measure it and then I'll if you want to send me what you want to email me what you want to put on there, then I can kind of print like a draft of the right size and send it back to you and see how it looks. But yeah.
If anybody has suggestions, I think the year, because we dedicated it last year, correct?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the year, do we need to acknowledge that it was the Conservation Commission who did this, or just Woodstock Memorial Pollinator Garden?
I think that's adequate. We don't have to take credit on a plaque.
Well, I mean, I think it could be like, not necessarily for credit, but like if somebody wanted to contact us to add a plant or, you know what I mean? Just like do maintenance, they would know who to contact. I don't know. Maybe they just contact the town and the town would let us know. I don't know.
Well, because it's not town property, I'm not sure people would automatically assume, to
Oh,
contact.
that's true.
Well,
Right.
we can have a separate sign saying, if you're, interested, giving our full contact information.
So this
Or
is
to
pretty high
dedicate a
tech.
plant or, let people know that there's opportunities to expand this garden.
Right, but that could be on a separate sign, so we could, give contact information and say, if you're interested in this, that, and the other thing, that could be because that's not, it's too much to put on the plaque. So.
Is there a
Yep.
subpage on the town homepage for the Conservation Commission? Because maybe you just put a, Woodstock pollinator garden, and then on the bottom, www dot blah blah blah.
We actually have our own website. The Conservation Commission has a website. I can't find the password to it, and I don't know what the status is with Lori, if I can get in touch with her for the password, because
Right.
no one has the ability right now to go on it and do any updates, and that's got to change.
Right. Yeah.
Grace, do you know if Lori's moved yet, or did you get a password when she passed? I mean, whose
I actually,
part is it on now?
are you finished? I actually just got a text from GoDaddy, and I was going to try to get in touch with Lori because they're still, using her name. I'll have to follow up with that and see.
Okay, because if we can get the password, and I'll write it down in my password book, then maybe I can go in and do some updates.
I can shoot her an email saying, could you give us the password?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You log in, we need the username and password to log in.
Okay,
I ran into Diane, Ruby, at the park, and she doesn't have that information anymore. She passed everything on to Lori.
okay. Okay, Sustainable Connecticut, Crystal isn't here.
And I still have to get in touch with NECOG about actions that we've done over the past few years. There's somebody there who will help me through it. I just have to come up with a list, and I don't have that list because I threw away all my planners.
Okay, the 50 Acre Wood. I had my crew go in, and we got 90% of it marked.
Good.
But I didn't realize when you first walk in, the path goes right or left. And if you go to the left, it actually dead ends. So it's not that way doesn't connect to the main loop, and it requires some work. But we're gonna go in this weekend with a chainsaw, and we're gonna see if there's any way to connect the two paths. And then earlier, before most of you guys got here, Nate Adams was on the line, and he and Crystal planned to go in, and I think there's an area that needs some work on it. So he's going to try. We're going to try. So hopefully, though, I still have to mark out. There's 5% of the main route that I have to mark out. We ran out of spray paint, so I want to do spray paint. But it should be good to go for Walktober.
Oh, good. Did you have a time frame that you were going to try and do this?
This weekend, because we were going to go 2 weekends ago, but it rained, or 3 weekends ago it rained, and then we were away, and then then one day it was just too hot. So,
well, I'm just asking because I would like to come over there and help you out. Obviously, I'll bring another can of spray paint.
No, we have it covered. We bought spray paint, and probably Sunday afternoon we'll go out.
Okay.
We're just one of us is gonna go hike in one end, or a group of us are gonna hike in one end, group's gonna hike the other. We're gonna yell to each other and see if there's any way to connect the dots. Because
Mhm.
one of the pathways is, it takes you in the middle of the nowhere and then it just dead ends. And a lot of that part of the trail is gonna need work. And again, I think Nate's gonna take a look at it and we'll take a look at it. But the main pathway, you actually walk in, go right, and then you loop and come back from where you came. So it's not a huge loop around the entire thing.
Where is that entrance from? That main entrance? Is that the Levitt Road?
No, the other,
No,
That's off of Pond Factory then?
yeah.
there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Okay.
So you
yeah.
you hike into Pond Factory in like half a mile, you hit a T.
Yeah.
If you go right, you hike in, you get to the big pond, and then there's a loop back, and then you come back from whence you came. So
Right.
if you take a left, that trail gets really gnarly, and then it dead ends. And I went back and looked at the kiosk, and that's what the kiosk has. There's no.
Oh, really? That was the design? Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So this weekend we're going to see if there's any way to connect the dots, connect the two paths. But that part of it's going to need future work. It's a lot of it's washed out, and it'll need maybe some planks and gravel there. But we'll take a look this weekend.
Okay. Because you do realize it's the fair this weekend too.
Yeah, which is perfect because
Yeah. They won't be around. No.
yeah, we can drive the opposite direction.
You go.
Us driving to toward Putnam, we're blocked.
Yeah.
Okay, then celebrating Ag Day. So I got some pictures that we took when we were spray painting and cleaning. So I have some pictures of the 50 acre to post.
Good.
And Matt has the folding board, and this weekend he's gonna put in, he had school stuff, so this weekend he'll put the hinges in, so it should be good to go.
Good.
So
we had talked about having a map of Woodstock and a listing of the trails that we could show to people where they were.
Yeah, did anyone, and also pictures of some of the other trails. I don't know if anyone had opportunity to take any pictures on the other trails. But if you do, take 4 or 5 pictures, and if you can, send them to me and I'll get them processed and get them to Grace.
Did I send a list of the trails that I'm aware of?
No, you did not.
Okay, it's in the POCD Conservation Commission draft list of the trails that I know of. I'll copy and paste that and share it with everybody. And I'll see if I can find the link to the forest management plan for the Nipmunk Forest, because they have logging roads in there which are perfectly suitable for hiking on. It's just not called hiking trails, but you can park at the gates and walk through the forest. So that's a nice place to go hiking as well. So I'll see what I can come up with. I know Connecticut Forests and Parks probably has a trail map that is available. And then that one that's down at behind the beaches, the Senexit Village Loop Trail. I haven't been on it, so I don't know what condition that's in, but it's there.
Okay, who's around to man the booth?
Hello. Is everybody muted?
I'm planning to go to celebrate Ag Day, but I was planning to go with my granddaughter. So
yeah, no, she doesn't need to be at the table.
she wouldn't
I
stay
mean-
at the table. She doesn't sit still.
I would, but I do a table for ECCD, so sorry.
Yeah, I'm in Philadelphia that weekend.
So now, okay, you're in Philadelphia. Where and how are we going to get the board and everything that you have?
Well, I can leave it, you know where I live, just,
Yes, I do.
stop by. Yeah, you just stop by, I'll give it to you.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure I can set up on Friday.
Mhm.
I think I'll have to look again. But I said, well, I mean, I'll set it up and I guess the hours Maura, do you know what the hours are posted?
No, sorry, I haven't really looked.
Celebrating Egg Day, it's always 9 to 3.
Okay.
Where's it at?
9 to 3
9 to 3.
Where is it?
at the Brooklyn Fair.
Brooklyn Fairgrounds. Fine, I'll set it up and if hopefully somebody will feel guilty and come and help me.
Yeah, well, I'll send an email, see if Jim can go. And then, okay, we'll go backwards. So Grace, you had something to report about Ag Commission, the Morgans.
Oh, yes. Well, it has actually, it's totally out of our hands. The Morgans, the piece of property we had looked at the DRC meeting, and the Morgans bought 4 acres, and a gentleman bought 100 acres, and he is totally destroying the road under the guise of needing to clear land so that he can get power because he supposedly wants to raise goats. It was not discussed at the councilman's meeting was canceled. I have no idea why, but P&Z, Ray presented them with pictures of how he's destroyed everything and cleared the land. And from what I understand, Ray and he had quite an interesting conversation, and he very promptly told him that he was told that he could do anything he wanted. And from what I hear, he was issued a cease and desist and promptly ignored it. And he is continuing to clear the property, which obviously was not the intent. He's on Pomfret property, and it's the Woodstock, and the line is very, very close, and it's a mess. It's back in the purview of the councilman, and their next meeting is supposedly on the 4th.
So Grace, is
What?
this Quarry Road you're talking about?
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
that that 100 acres of
Yeah, you didn't say
pristine.
that.
Put the map up.
I thought
So
it
when you
was because when
say-
you said Ray, so I knew that where he was, but that was like
When you
super
say
I'm
pristine.
sorry. Yeah,
councilman, do you mean the Board of Selectmen?
yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Whatever.
well,
This
it's
doesn't-
hard to follow.
They supposedly, as I say, it's between them and P&Z, and until they have another board meeting, another councilman's meeting, nothing's going to get done. And this guy is just proceeding to cut down every bloody tree he can.
So I think the issue, from what I was told by somebody, is that that's a scenic road. and that he
Yep.
was actually trying to widen the road. So that's where the issue.
Yes.
And my question was, the scenic road ordinance, who sort of has purview over if somebody
Planning,
is
zoning.
planning and zoning?
Can I butt in here? I know
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not on the
there's
commission.
Rebecca.
Yeah,
She's
it's
the
a
one-
scenic, so one of the complaints was the scenic road issue. He, he's not just widening it, he also regraded it and filled in all the potholes. If you've ever been down Quarry Road, it's very
I
hard to
have.
pass down that road. And he's been moving stone walls, possibly moving, property boundaries.
Wow.
There's a memorial down there that he, was also moving.
This
And,
guy from Rhode Island?
no, it's Brian Sheldon. He's a local guy who has, you know, does not believe that the town should bother him about things.
It's,
What I heard in the selectman's office, and I don't know if I heard right, but what I thought I heard was that inland wetlands that actually are the ones that issued the cease and desist. Chandler had said that he didn't feel the selectmen could enforce anything because there's no penalty written in the ordinance. My understanding is that P and Z was in charge of, shepherding through the ordinance, but once the ordinance is there, it's up to the selectmen to enforce it. Because Chandler, as part of his job, is chief of police. So anybody who's breaking the law in town, that would be his job to stop them from doing that. So there
But
was
there's-
hope in the selectman's office that the cease and desist would bring things to a halt for now. And I don't know if it's come to a halt or not, but basically
No.
it's all around the road and possibly affecting the wetlands down there too.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember when they said they would sell it to them that because it was all wetlands for the most part, that they couldn't build on it. And
Okay,
Yeah.
no. This has nothing to do with the Morgans. The Morgans are acting as the police down there. They're the ones who are documenting. I think on this, what you're looking at, it might be property 23A there, a little bit to the left, or
here,
yeah. No, one more. It's a big piece of property. Yeah, try
Okay.
Yeah,
that.
it's like 100 acres. The Morgans
Yeah.
was
That's
just
Wyndham
that's
Land
like
Wyndham
4
Land
acres,
Trust.
right?
Wyndham Land Trust here.
Okay, maybe even further down. There was one more big piece, and you also have to realize that the GIS is probably not up to date. I know Vision Appraisal is only up to date through March because the assessor's been very busy with the reval. So yeah, it's probably 23 because that would be where that crosses into Pomfret. Let's see what you got for 23.
I thought there was this piece over here that we just sold.
No, nothing to do with
Oh,
that. This
okay.
is a big piece. It was the last piece that was privately owned, and it was owned by some people out of town. They've been trying to sell it for a while. Yeah, probably them, the Jacques
Okay.
Coventry. Yeah. So that now belongs to Brian Sheldon. He's a member of a very large family in Woodstock that's been here for many generations.
Yeah.
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 So and he actually forestry is his business. So he's at ease with taking down trees.
oh, yeah.
So if you want to
So-
entertain yourself, drive down, follow Corey and or you can come in Pomfret from Swedetown there. See what's going on.
I know that something was going on Quarry Road because during the planning and zoning meeting, Pam Morgan
Yeah.
texted me, and I told her to get in touch with John Guskowski. And
Yeah, they've talked to everybody. They've talked to Andy with the Wyndham Land Trust. They've talked to Maureen, the select woman from Pomfret. They've talked to Chandler. They're very thorough, those guys. They've videoed, they've photographed. They don't miss a trick.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
I was not aware that that was the property that Pam was talking about. Wow.
yeah. No, that's a nice chunk of land there. It'll be interesting if the selectmen don't, refuse to intervene. A lot of damage could be done pretty quickly. Actually, there already has been a fair amount from what I
so
hear.
there doesn't need to be a violation of an ordinance whenever damage is caused. Right now, so if you come and you damage something that someone else owns, even if that someone else is a town, There doesn't need to be an ordinance that says you can't damage my property. That's just built into property rights.
It's a,
So,
it's a little
so-
more than that though, too, because in terms of the scenic roads have such strict rules in terms of you can barely move, a
but-
stone on a stone wall.
but that's just extra. That's just extra protection. That's not the only protection. If the guy is damaging a road or damaging a wall or damaging something that's on
Well-
town property, that's
Damaging is an interesting word because, as Rebecca said, that stretch of Quarry Road was barely passable. If it had any puddles on it, you didn't know if it was 2 inches deep or 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're huge puddles, and I think because Chandler lives on Quarry Road, he kind of likes the fact that people aren't driving on it, and they deliberately are not maintaining that section of road. So apparently Brian decided, it sounds to me, he was going to take matters into his own hands. Although
yeah, but that's
practice for doing-
still damage. So I'll just give you like a really weird example. If anyone's ever heard this story about it's somebody who took it into their own head to build a little stairway where the town didn't have a stairway, because people were walking down like and this wasn't local, but people were walking down a little embankment to like a sports field, and somebody went in and built a stairway, and the town immediately went in and ripped it down because even though it was safer than the embankment that was there before, it wasn't built to code. It didn't have the right size railing. It didn't have the marked tread. So the odds that this guy's fixing the road in such a way that is proper versus what's required is extremely unlikely. So he's a forester. He's not a road maintenance guy. Anything that he does to the road is damage.
Is anybody familiar with the Three Trees Wyndham Land Trust overlook on Bull Hill?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was Brian Sheldon's property. And as I recall, he was clear cutting up there because he was clear cutting in a wetland area because he said he wanted to put in a cranberry bog at the top of Bull Hill. So, Brian will come up with that, right? That one went to Thompson because the Three Trees are actually in Thompson, but I do recall that. So Brian's kind of, he's kind of got his own idea of rules. It's fair to say.
Wasn't there like some state selectman or state congressman or something that had to pay tens of thousands of dollars?
That's
to,
Governor
That
Lamont.
was the
Oh, it was the
governor.
right. It was the governor, right? I mean, if the governor can't get away with it, this guy can have been here for 12 generations, but I don't think he has more pull than the governor.
Yeah, but it'll be, basically he's got the cease and desist, and we should just pay attention and see what happens next.
Right. Yeah.
Because sometimes
But
people can be slow to act. I mean, somebody has to take him to court and prosecute the issue. So
Right.
you can see that there's a stream there. There's wetlands there. I think there's a watershed divide because one of the brooks is draining to the north, and that's Bosworth Brook. That's a cold water stream, and I know that because I measured it. And down below is a big wetland complex is related to the Nightingale Brook that flows into Mash Market. But I mean, I'm looking at that stream on the property, and that one concerns me if he does too much clearing in that stream. So if he's doing a forestry project, he needs to get the paperwork filed with the wetlands
Yeah.
authority as well.
that may be why they moved more quickly than anybody else, because they actually do things quickly.
Who owns the land that he's doing this on?
He bought it.
Oh, he bought it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If he's
Yes, we do.
widening the road and it's not a private road, then that's not his land.
Correct.
No, he's
Yeah.
being a bad boy, no question.
Well, as I
It's-
said,
I was just-
the excuse he's using is that he has to widen the road to get power up there. And he supposedly was given the okay because he wants to graze goats.
Yeah, he's full of it.
No kidding.
He's
But-
creative. Oops, sorry. Don't
Yes.
put that in the minutes. And we're being recorded. Okay, I should put myself back
Recorded.
on mute.
I have to say, I looked, in the wetlands minutes, because I get them, and I didn't see anything about Quarry Road, so that's weird to me, unless I missed something. The plot,
To raise goats in the woods. Because it's all
Ah.
forested.
No, he's going to clear it all. But he has to get power up there. Supposedly, he requested a building permit and it was turned down. And then he asked if he could put a barn up. And they supposedly told him that he could. Now, this is, again, I'm here saying I have no idea. I was not at any of these meetings. I was only at the last P&Z meeting. And even Ray and Pam Morgan just submitted a packet of the pictures of all the damage he's doing on not his land. So, that's where that sits. Supposedly, as you said, Chandler is the chief of police because he's the selectman and he's the one who has to go after this. And that's, again, the next selectmen's meeting is on the 4th.
Well, let me ask you this, guys, if there's structures off this road, doesn't it have to be passable for the fire department to reach? Right?
But
But
I'm
that doesn't
guessing-
allow a
Look,
private citizen to go in and do road work.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
No.
asking the question.
Yeah.
If the road is not, doesn't it, if there's a structure, doesn't it have to be accessible by the fire department?
I don't know if there's
Maybe
structure
the-
beyond that.
Yeah, this would be the last piece of Quarry Road before it goes into Pomfret, and there was no house on it up till now.
Right, so if he,
So the fire department didn't, it wasn't a
Right.
priority, obviously.
but theoretically, if he puts up a structure, if he's allowed to put up a barn, I'm not arguing he can do the road, but
Yeah.
he would, if he puts up a structure, he would be within his rights to ask the town to widen the road so that the fire department could access his
Well, that-
structure.
The town can't widen the scenic road without going through a public hearing.
Right, so the town is within their
Yeah.
rights to deny him his
Right.
building because the road is not adequate.
Yeah.
Right, so for him to follow the rules properly, he would have to go to the town and say, I'm putting up a structure, can you widen it so that the fire department can access my building?
Yes,
And
exactly.
then the
Mhm.
town could say
Yes.
yes or no, and that would be the correct path. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out what his so but yeah, agree, what he's doing is a violation of code. Is there any, we're not responsible for our committee's not responsible for monitoring the unpaved
Scenic
roads.
road.
We,
Well, I think we have commented in the past on the scenic roads.
yeah,
We've commented on whether or not we felt the road was worthy of being designated a scenic road. And we have commented in the past on road improvements that were proposed for Pulpit Rock Road, for example. We did meet and discuss that when the town
Yeah.
wanted to pave a section of it. So it is
Actually,
something that the Development Review Committee
yeah,
might have reviewed in the past. And I think, without having firsthand knowledge of what's going on there, I think we need to point out resources that are on that property to the best of our ability,
yes,
especially, look at the wetland complex across the street. If he's changing the drainage so that the
Right.
road is now running off into the wetland, that's bad. And if
Right.
you see any forestry on that property that's impacting the riparian cover of Bosworth Brook, that's also of concern. And it is a major forest block. So, it's his right, zoning by owning. He can clear cut that. It's private property, but it would be ill-advised.
right. Well, but it is his land, but we reviewed Center Cemetery, I think, also. So do you want me to send a letter do you want me to email Chandler and say, it's come to our attention that, the resident of lot 23A is, altering, a
Yeah.
scenic road. Would you like the commission's input as to how it's going to impact the area? Just reach out to see if
Be
he
fine.
wants.
You
It's
send
lot 23, not 23A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, move
Looking
to
where
the west. Move to the
that's
west.
what, that's it.
23?
23, yeah.
Okay.
23A is Wyndham Land Trust.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
So-
we can give our opinion. I don't know that you have to, I think you can write a letter and just give it. I mean, why would he say no?
I mean, Gene, do you want to just, unilaterally review it and then send them our suggestions, or do you want me to reach out?
My time is kind of pressed right now, so ask them if they want our input, because if they're not gonna take it,
Okay.
put
Yeah,
a lot of investment
okay.
into it.
Okay. So I'll ask him if he wants our input.
So lot 23.
Yes. Okay, any more discussion on that? If not, we'll move on to new business. Anyone go to a workshop or have knowledge of an upcoming workshop? No.
Can I speak again?
Yes, you may. Public.
Sorry, should have thought of all this earlier. The Historical Society did a very nice climate conversation on Saturday, which had a tiny attendance, but they brought a woman down. The New England Historic Society has a sustainability director, and she's been going around holding not teach-ins about climate change, but how to just sit down and talk about climate change. And it was very skillfully done. There's a group out of Lexington, Kentucky, I believe, that has done something called Climate Conversations, where they sit a small group down with a batch of cards that have questions on them to start conversation. And anyway, it was very nice, skillfully done, and some people there might try to have her come back again. So just wanted to mention that.
I'm sorry.
That's
We
great.
have
The place I probably would like to have done that, because that's a big conversation in the plan of conservation and development, because we do need to address that in that document.
well, we do have a Woodstock resident who we sponsored that talk over at or that the Hyde
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ken Wolfsriegel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lee,
This was very different though, because it really wasn't about presenting information about climate change. It was much more, we need to talk about it, and how can you get people to sit down and just
Okay.
have a conversation about it.
Okay.
So it's cool.
I wish they had told the Conservation Commission about it, because I think a number of us might have gone. So I don't know if there's
Yeah,
any
I
way
don't
to-
think the historic people are necessarily quite up on who they should tell what to, but who knew there was
Well-
an ally over there?
Yeah, if they
Yeah.
want, right, if they want feedback, and they want more people to attend, it sounds like they, maybe you could just say, reach out to the town commissions and invite those people.
well, also
Yeah.
it wasn't even on the Woodstock social media. I didn't.
No, it was on Proud once a few weeks ago, and then it was in the Villager. That's how I went, because of the Villager.
Oh,
Yeah, amazingly enough, I happened to read it that morning. I was like, oh yeah. So
Lee, you skipped over the POCD.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't. I asked you.
If you have-
Maybe okay. Maybe I did. I apologize. Back to POCD. I said something, and then somebody interrupted me. So sorry. So yes, POCD, Gene. Sorry.
I wanted to share with you that the document, the way it was presented, how Delia had assembled it, was just a lot of like fact sheets. And So we had a big discussion at our last meeting that we needed to draft a vision statement. And this is the vision statement that John Guskowski drafted for us. It's not the final one, but I want you to see it to see if it makes sense to you. So I'll give you a moment to read it.
Can you scroll up and down?
I want to make sure everybody had a chance to read it. So we want to protect natural resources, develop land in its economy that's sustainable, and enjoy our abundant resources and opportunities. So that's kind of what we're focused on. And so Amy Monahan had suggested that we follow this formula. How are we going to protect? How are we going to develop? And how are we going to enjoy? And everything that's in the document is going to get put under one of these three headings. So, in terms of protect, I think all the natural resource inventory part should fall into that. And then develop would refer back to the natural resource inventory, and enjoy, different things that make Woodstock, some of the events we have, opportunities we have to get together in town, and focusing on developing agritourism and ecotourism and protect our aesthetics and stuff. That's kind of where we're going right now. But does anybody want me to share this with them? I can send out an email with this, so you can look it over and think about it, or just nice to know. Go ahead with it, Jean.
Well, isn't this something that the committee is supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I'm on the committee.
Yeah, I understand that.
But
I mean,
I am representing not me on the committee. I am representing the Conservation Commission on the committee. That's
Yeah,
why I always ask and for your input. Before I go to the committee, I say, this is what I've come up with. What do you guys
This
think?
is spell agritourism.
I don't know if I froze or Lee froze.
He froze. Oh, Jordan's the host. Why is Jordan the default host? Shouldn't I be? I'm the vice
There
There we
chair.
are. Here's back.
You, Lee.
I just lost. I don't know what happened. I have bars, but I got kicked off.
For some weird reason, it made Jordan the co-host. Shouldn't I be the co-host, being the vice chair? I mean, whatever, but
I don't know.
as
Nate
long
gave it
as
to
Lee's
me.
back, we're fine.
I don't know.
yeah. Well,
I
I
don't know.
know, but it's just interesting.
Okay. Did anyone have any comments for Jean regarding it?
I mean, at first glance, it really looks like it covers everything, and I mean, I could think about it more, but it seems to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It never hurts to send it out, though. If you want to send it out, I would say just send it to everybody. If anybody doesn't
Okay,
want to read
I
it,
will do
don't
that.
open it.
After this meeting, you will all get a copy of it to look it over. Our next meeting is not this Thursday, the next Thursday, first Thursday in September.
The 4th.
That would be it. Yeah, Amy just sent out the agenda today.
Okay. Should we move on?
Yes.
Okay.
Kinda.
So open discussion. Grace, you have anything?
Nothing else. No.
Jean?
there's going to be a solar farm. I don't know what the stage of approval is at this point. Maybe Maura knows more. It's Castle Rock Road, which is off of Route 169. Um, it's property that's owned by the Chapmans, and it's going to be a pretty substantial solar array installed there, and it drains to Little Brook as opposed to Little River. Little Brook crosses under Route 169 by the South Campus of Woodstock Academy, and it goes into Peak Brook. And both of those brooks are cold water streams. And I don't know if the public comment period is over or not. I can't seem to find out if it is or it is not. But I did send a note to the developer of this project asking them how are they going to protect the cold water habitat of those watersheds that this project drains into.
Wouldn't the inland wetlands have to go through them?
It's locally exempt.
Oh,
This is something that it's big enough that it's decided by the siting council. Same thing with cell towers. You know, solar farms and cell towers are locally exempt. They can comment on, you know, specific things like with the cell tower down by Chase, because it was open for public comment and we knew about it. We did comment on it because it was within a half a mile of a known bald eagle, active and successful bald eagle nest, and they reported that it was not. This one, I didn't know about it more until you mentioned it to me last month. So
yeah. I don't really know the status, but yeah, I don't know any more than that myself.
They, when I went to the soil health conference for the grant we got, I met a woman from Deep who actually lives in Woodstock and wrote a lot of the verbiage that Deep put out about what was going to be required of solar farms, like, you know, returning the land back to its original status and stuff. And I always thought it would be interesting to have her give a talk about the work she did and, you know, how they look at that development on Castle Rock. I never actually reached out to her I did mention to her once. She said she'd be glad to come to the Ag Commission, but
you know, Rebecca,
you might want to make me do that.
I've been talking with Amy Monahan about restoring the farm talks at the Grange. Maura and I did them a couple of years back,
I
and
remember.
Amy said she would like to have more of that type of activity at the Grange, and that would be an excellent topic that we can do at the Grange. And it'd be, you know, apolitical. It's not town sponsored, but the Conservation Commission could be a partner on this, and the Ag Commission could be a partner on it, you know, kind of thing. You know, there's a number of different topics that I'm thinking of off the top of the head that would be fun to have people
I know.
about at the Grange. So,
Well, I'll drop that woman a note and see if she's still working on that and if she'd be interested in going to a meeting or doing a presentation.
oh, that'd be great.
What's her name?
Can't remember. I get
Oh.
confused. I know she lives on Underwood Road, so now I think her name is Underwood, but I think that's the road she lives on. So I'd have to look it up. I have it in my contacts.
No, I'm just curious if we might know her being from Deep. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I gotta look her up. I should know, but I've forgotten.
Okay, anything else, Jean?
No, that's all that's caught my attention.
Okay, Maura?
Well, I thought that the Natchog project, River Watershed Advisory Board project, was going to be on the agenda, but I guess it's not. Just because it's you know, the work continues and I can give updates. And I will say that it is moving along well. We have 5 work groups figured out at this time. The advisory board has been meeting every month. and the work groups have met, at least have met once, and are going to be developing work plans. So I'd love to see somebody possibly from this group. There is no one other than myself, if I count, representing on the NatChog. I'm leading the project, but I'm also, I guess I'm the only representative at this time from Woodstock, so nobody had stepped up. But I will be going to the October Board of Selectmen meeting to see if they will sign the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. So that may be an interesting meeting with all that other stuff going on that I may not want to stick around for or not. I don't know. But anyways, I'm, in the MOU is that asking the town, basically to support the project and assign someone from the town. So I don't know if they do decide to sign, if out of that they're gonna be asking somebody to step up. I know it'll probably be somebody from one of the volunteer commissions, but it would be helpful to represent our town with the 8, the 7 other towns, so that you have representation on topics that, you feel are important to this town. I will try to do that, but I may not always, trying to run things as well. So I'd really love to see. So if anyone's interested, I can tell them more about, what that would entail and things like that.
When are the meetings?
Well, the meetings, the advisory board meetings are the 3rd Tuesday of every month at 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So I understand that, if people work, that doesn't really work. But a lot of the folks are retired, so that's kind of what works for them. But we do have some folks too that, it's part of their job, like from Connecticut Deep and stuff. So you don't have to come to the advisory board meetings, though. If you decide to work on a work group, to get involved in a work group, which is anywhere from 3 to 5 people, it's just sort of a subgroup that works on specific issues. Like we have a forest health and preservation work group. We have pollinator pathways and riparian buffers work group. So there's, various work groups that you get involved with, and those actually they're all tend to be during the day. So never mind. If you're thinking like I want a night one, it's just the way it worked out. But maybe if somebody can come during the day.
Thanks. Jason,
I have nothing to add. Thank you.
anything else, Rebecca?
She left us.
I'll take that as a no. Jordan?
No.
Nothing
Okay,
here.
thanks. Jordan, you good? Okay. Grace?
No.
Okay. So I sent off letter. I love technology, so I emailed Lori to get the website information. I emailed Chandler to see whether he wants us to review the road. So those have been sent off. So is there anything else for the good of the order? And if not, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Okay, Jason, Jordan second.
Yes.
Okay, officially adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the little time we have left in summer. And have fun at the fair.
Thank you. Good night.
Take care.
Good night. Go away.